everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Nurses Off Duty Podcast. My name is Angie. We have Addie joining us from across the country. Addie, hey, what's up? What is the topic for tonight?
Hi, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about what's been going on as far as all the trending topic that's been happening in the media lately. And also we're going to take a little bit visit Angie's fabulous birthday. She's going to talk about her recent birthday that we celebrated, what we did. And as you can see, I'm not home. I'm back traveling in California. And today is a very casual day for me. Just took a walk. And you know what that means. So a hat and a cap and some sweatpants is what it is today. So
you get what you get. This is real life here.
This is real life. You know, when you're traveling, as a traveler, you have bad hair day. Of course, we have to make do where we're at. As far as filming, we're not home. I'm not home. So I'm in an Airbnb that I'm staying. So we're filming tonight. And hopefully we can talk about a little bit of where I'm doing, where I'm at, and what's going on in nursing also, while we address all the hot topics that's happening in media recently.
It's a lot.
A lot is going on.
Yeah. But before we even touch on that, guys, I just want to give a shout out to my girls, which include Addie, her family, my family as well. They threw me a surprise 50th birthday party. I for the whole week I was trying to figure out what's going on because everybody was just acting completely suspicious. So I was doing some investigation over time, but I still was surprised at the end of the day. Let me tell you something, guys. I'm going to put a clip somewhere up here just to give you a little snippet of my decor. Oh my God, it was fantastic. You know me, I didn't want to have a party, but at the end of that party, I was like, wait a minute, we need to do this more often. Man, the decor, and that was by my cousin. Well, not cousin-in-law, I should say. She Gigified, that's her term. She Gigified that place. Oh my God. So I'll put a link somewhere up here and just to give you guys a little snippet of how my party turned out. So I just want to say thank you, Adeline.
And you're welcome.
Everybody. I want to say a big thank you for everybody that was involved in planning and, keeping me distracted because I really did enjoy myself. The food was good. Thank you, Miss Nadesh. Just everything was good. Every single thing was good. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Guys, I remember we had a fun incident. We're trying to decide what kind of flavor cake she liked. And I remember her husband put me on three-way and she was like, I guess she had told him before and she called back and she was like, Duke, what does that feel like? This was a question. Are you trying to surprise me or something? I'm telling you guys right now, if anybody is planning anything for me, I don't want it. I just want the money for my foundation. She does have a foundation that she support, which we need to talk about that, where she support students in Jamaica. And she's been doing it for years out of her own pocket. And we don't talk about that, but we will. And this is where her heart was. It wasn't about celebrating herself. It was about trying to help her country and the students in the country. So that's the kind of person that she is. But I really think that she deserved that party. Yeah. I was going to make it happen one way or the other because, like I said, having her as a friend has been such a blessing to me. And I wanted to make sure that she know how much everybody in her life, like I know she's selfless. She wants to help others, but we wanted to celebrate her because she deserved to be celebrated. So
So Addie, let's dive into the first topic of discussion.
The first,
What's going on out there in this crazy world of ours?
well, I think 2 weeks, a couple weeks ago, and I was really surprised. We had a young lady by the name of Carly Russell that
Oh,
actually um was missing. Apparently, we all were, and I have to be honest, I've never in a long time have I ever seen where a black person, especially a black woman that goes missing, where the whole country was involved in trying to make sure this woman came back alive, was trying to find out all the TikTokers that I follow, even if I don't follow them, everybody was doing their part to make the country aware that this young lady was missing.
mhm.
Because when it initially came out, she said, I guess from what I gather, she was driving from work and she saw a baby on the highway and she stopped to help the baby and then she vanished. So, Angie, from your point of view, I think the reason why it resonated so much with everybody in the country, regardless of race, because a lot of times there are a lot of black women that are missing in this country that don't get the deserved attention. But I think the fact that this young lady, we all resonated with it because we felt like, who would not have stopped if we
I would.
saw a baby on the road, right? You would have.
Hell no! Look here.
You
I would pull over, but I would not get out of my car. Yes, I will call 911, but I will put my eye on that baby. Like keep my eye on the baby until 911. But to come out of my car with what going on in this world, I don't know about this.
well now a lot of us are saying, okay, you know what? And we wouldn't have for for two reasons. The fact that we felt like, okay, it was a trap.
The
Because
trap.
right now, a lot of sex traffickers, human traffickers are
Hmm.
using anything and everything to
And
allure people or
not to
people.
cut you, but on it now that I'm thinking about it, I think it got so big not because she is a black woman who
Hmm.
who disappeared, but I think the story got so big because she called 911 saying that she saw a child on the highway.
Right.
You see what I mean? So that was, I think, the catalyst why this story got so big. If she had disappeared without calling 911, I don't think nobody would even care. Yes, I mean, she probably would have gotten away with her ridiculous plan that she had. What do you think about that?
Well, I think true. Partly is true because when you mentioned the baby, yes, the
Mhm.
child, the toddler, whatever it was, everybody's thinking, okay, who? But the police did come back and says nobody reported somebody missing. A child is missing in the area. So I think right there and then they would have maybe not con- be as concerned about her. But to be honest, I think that when you saw her picture, she's a very pretty girl. She's a beautiful girl with a big bright smile. You saw her background, you saw her family. Um, they didn't look like the type of people that would come out that their child would just run away from home. A 25-year-old who's in college. She had she was she had a job. So there were many reasons why people felt like this could be my child. This could be my daughter, regardless of race or nationality. Everybody could relate to the fact that this young woman who has her whole life ahead of her made a selfless decision to stop and help a child. So it resonated with everybody. When I tell you TikTok was on fire over her.
I
Every
only
influencer, the news, I've never, usually we say as people of color, Black people, that we don't get the when our family member or our children go missing, women go missing, we don't get the
Attention.
attention from the media that Caucasian women or women of other ethnicity get. So to see that happen, I was like, oh my God, this is really good. We are coming to a point where, we matter in this country because when I tell you everybody stopped what they were doing and mentioned her name and says
I
something,
think it
please
was
bring her
more
home.
social media, though. I think it was more social media
It
than
wasn't it was social media. It wasn't the
let's get let's get back to this girl who tug our hearts. I'm here praying for this damn girl, wasting my prayer. Thank God I didn't go on down on my hands and knees for this girl.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
there was a GoFund for her too, and I don't think the family's gonna return that money. I mean, if there was a GoFund, and to be honest, they probably did use the money and trying to relocate her, trying to search for her. So, once you give something as a gift, don't expect it back. But
I didn't.
yeah, but I don't think my issue with what she just did. Apparently, she's been charged. She did turn herself in. And I think we are speeding ahead. So apparently she did not go missing. What happened is apparently she checked in to some hotel, Red Roof Inn, and I don't to me for a girl her age, she wasn't too bright because some of the things that she did,
No,
um,
she's right. But when you call, let me tell you something, man. When you want a man, you this the young girls nowadays, man. No matter how educated you are, they want a man, or the man is trying to leave them. All of a sudden, they lose all faculties and go damn crazy over man. But go ahead.
it's not just young. It can happen to everybody at any age. But
No,
the main thing
I
is,
want to say young because I won't believe a 50-year anybody over 50 will do that shit. But go ahead.
but no, no. The thing with her is she did go into I guess a hotel where she stayed for a couple of days and but my concern is once she noticed that this is becoming so big, her story is everywhere. People are looking for her. Her family heart is wrenching. They are begging everybody to release her. Why didn't she just says okay to end of why didn't she just says okay, enough is enough, I've done this. But it was like 96 hours people were looking for her, right? I think it was for days
For
and,
three
and
days,
days
yeah.
and days and days they were looking for her. Everybody is searching for her. So my problem is I think what we heard is she fell out of nursing school, which could be very traumatic. No, seriously. No, you imagine, like I was explaining this actually to Gigi. Gigi was telling me, "Oh, this girl, she's doing all this for fame." I said, "No, this is not the signs of somebody who's doing this for fame. This was a cry for help, or it was an attention seeker. This maybe she couldn't face her parents because she fell out of nursing school, and then maybe she had a mental breakdown because guess what? You felling out of school, and your man just left you. You know what I mean? So I think maybe it was too much for her. Maybe she wanted to see if I went missing for a couple of days. Maybe she didn't realize that the story was gonna get so big, and
Absolutely.
she
She didn't
right.
have no damn breakdown. People with mental problems don't plan. Okay? This girl meticulously planned. She rented a hotel so she can stay for a couple of days. She didn't have no damn nervous breakdown. She planned this, like you said. I really believe it was for attention, yes,
Yes,
but it was from attention from the man, and
but
she wasn't thinking about
of
her
course,
family.
of
She
course, I agree.
That
I
lady ain't stressed. She not
I
stressed.
no no no.
Mistake number one. When you're doing your deeds like that, do not get 911 involved. She wouldn't have been in legal trouble if she did not call 911. If she did her thing and her family called 911, she wouldn't have gotten into legal trouble because she wouldn't be the one to call 911. You see what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
she took it upon herself to actually call 911. 911 police and everybody in the community was looking for her for days. Do you know how much resources they used up, taxpayers' dollars to use up for this big lie because she want a man back? Come on.
First of all, I'm not saying that it was right what she did. I just said that, as to be honest, as a race of people, I agree with you. She was absolutely wrong. She went about this completely wrong, and it was ridiculous. And I just care about what the consequences is going to be for the next Black woman that is truly in danger, that somebody did kidnap, somebody did snatch, which they are doing every day.
Time when she spent to make this huge plan, she should have sat and think about how she's going to put herself back through nursing school. That's what she
Right.
should have done. What is my next step to get back into another program? You see what I mean? But anyway, let's move on to the other big, sad, devastating topic. I have never heard this one in my lifetime.
Well, before we talk, I think we should talk about the Alabama brawl first.
I don't know that much about it. I haven't been watching it. I just saw what I got gathered from it. I just saw people fighting, Addie. I don't know what happened. I can't comment on that. But go ahead, since you know it.
Really, Angie?
No, seriously.
This week, it's one thing that I notice about us as a community. Boy, we are fast in our feet when it comes to, apparently, I guess in Montgomery, Alabama, I want to say this officer, I don't know if he's a security guard, I don't know the detail. Apparently these boaters parked their boat at this spot, and he asked them multiple times to remove it because I think another bigger vessel was supposed to be there so the people can come off the boat, but they refused. So I think he went upon himself to remove it. And you can't hear the conversations, but you can see where these all white men were upset that when he spoke to them, they would not listen to him. So they just started beating him, right? And there was even women kicking him, spitting on him, right? So they basically were beating this man, and all of a sudden you had Black people from everywhere. But it was sad. I think it was the level of disrespect, because this man was in a position of authority. They just didn't want to listen to him because they saw a Black. It was very, very racial and ugly. It was ugly, but at the same time, it to me is how everybody is coming together to just, it's everybody social media saying, you guys deserve it. Even like white people in Alabama saying, what do you think was going to happen? You think that you guys were just going to go there and basically beat this man senseless and nobody's going to do nothing about it? And everybody's like, and the Black community in Alabama saying, we are not our ancestors. We will beat your ass. We will beat your ass. You try us, we will beat the hell out of you. And that was interesting.
Oh God! You see, I skip those things. I try not to watch any brawl or anything. I'm like, I can't be bothered with this. But that's what that cheer was about. All of a sudden, I started the folding chair popping up all over social media. I just couldn't understand what it was for. I'm like, am I missing something? Is there something in history I needed to know? You know what I mean?
You're missing a lot. You need to watch. Honestly, you have to watch this video. When I tell you this video, it's the reenactment. It's the people telling the story while it's happening. That was interesting. So you have to see it. It's funny. It's so funny. And I don't like stuff like that. But the fact that the lady was, especially the lady, she's saying, good almighty, look at him go.
Oh, Lord. But anyway, let's get back to the story that I want to talk about.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So
the crazy news that we just heard a couple of days ago. That never heard such thing in our life.
Well, it's on the news. So you're talking about the story and Georgia, I believe, a baby just got decapitated during birth.
during the birthing. Yeah. Addie,
What's
what's
going on?
no, but what I didn't understand, because I don't like to listen to stuff like that, so I heard a snippet and I quickly changed the news. But Addie, did that baby head actually came off, Addie?
What does decapitated mean?
Well, no, you can have you can have the term decapitated, but what they call it when the head, the spinal cord, and everything is severed from the actual body, but the skin is still intact. What do you call that? There's a term. There's a medical term for that.
I
I
don't
don't.
remember.
But decapitation is in the word though.
But I believe the baby died, right?
Well, of course, I can't see that baby surviving after all of that.
Exactly. So I believe, but the thing is, it happened. It says Georgia doctor decapitated baby during delivery. And apparently there is obviously there's a lawsuit. It says according to the lawsuit, the parents' attorney are also accused the hospital in Riverdale of trying to
Mm-hmm.
cover up the
Yes, Addie, they
decapitation.
did. Addie,
Yep.
let me tell you something. It is actually, Addie, they didn't know until 3 days what happened to their baby. The hospital just told them the baby died during the birthing process, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 days, Addie, 3 days after, then the parents find out that the baby was actually decapitated during. Of course, they try to cover it up. Why wasn't the parents notified right away?
But they should have done right away. So didn't they see the baby? She didn't want to see the baby.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't believe the head was completely off the body. It might be an internal. That's the term.
Mm-hmm.
Internal decapitation, right?
Hmm.
That's what it is. Like when the spine is completely severed, but the head is probably bobbling from side to
It's
side. Sorry
bobbling,
to be
yeah,
so
left and right.
graphic, but you know what I mean. So I think that's what happened. We need to
Well, I didn't.
research, guys, research that because I think it was a complete internal decapitation with malformation of
Of the
the
spine,
head. No, the head bone, because the bone in the baby head is so
smushy,
um
soft
quickly and
still.
pliable. Even that she damaged. She damaged the baby head, Addie, and decapitated the baby. Can you imagine pulling? And I'm like, is this a new physician or is somebody? No, they said she's been working there for 20 years, right?
I didn't see that. I was reading a little bit about it. It says a doctor used too much force and decapitated a Georgia woman's baby during delivery. It says according to the lawsuit, attorneys said the baby's mother and father, their names are Jessica and Trayvon Isaiah Taylor Sr., attended a news conference in Atlanta where their attorney announced the lawsuit against Dr. Tracy S. Julian and
Mm-hmm.
Southern Regional Medical Center, a hospital in Riverdale, Georgia, where Ross went on July 9th to have her son.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I believe Riverdale is about 13 miles south of Georgia. So that's more towards. Um, but the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
why did they not have? What happened to transparency?
That's what I'm trying to, because they were trying to cover it up. And this is why, man, Addie, they deserve every penny they're going to get out of this, which should be millions.
Of course, they're gonna get millions and millions, and also my issue is as nurses, this is going to trickle down to everybody that
That was.
charted on this patient. Everybody that saw this patient is going to
Mhm.
court. You see what I mean? Like how you're doing your job. It could be the nurse that took care of that lady, the mom, like the day after, she's going to court. Anybody
But
that's
the nurses, the nurse themselves can't be in trouble because they're not the one who was actually pulling on the baby. The physician,
the
the
physician is
physician.
one thing, but court, they're all going to court. You know that.
Of course, as witness, of course.
So if as a nurse, if you don't say anything, you know, the chain of command, where did this go? Who reported what? Who said
Then
what?
you know what? they probably did report something, but then that, like you said, if the hospital didn't let the parents know what happened for 3 days, that means they, first of all, I know probably what happened. Come on, we've worked in the hospital. When somebody reports something, it goes up to legal.
Yep.
And the legal team is on it to see how could they minimize the risk.
The risk. And
right?
they've been minimizing the risk before they
Right?
report
And
it.
that's what they were trying to do, getting their paperwork in place, and how could they minimize this damage? Because the damage is already done, but how could they minimize it, meaning less impact financially on the hospital?
I heard she pulled, it says, what happened is, let me repeat it.
Yeah, read it from the news so we can get it right. I don't want to, we should say alleged.
Alleged, yes. Allegedly. Allegedly says a
Everything
doctor.
we said previously, two guys, was alleged.
Everything we said was allegedly. Yes. It says a doctor used too much force and decapitated a Georgia woman's baby during delivery. So that means what? I just can't imagine. So she was using the forceps, or is she using the forceps? Because I'm not an OB.
Annie, we don't know. I have no clue what the hell she was using.
Well,
can you imagine? That means you can tell. You see how comfortable she was by doing that. You know how much people she probably did that to. They need to. So now they need to look at her track record. Now that's
that's coming.
Yes,
you know
how many babies that died under her care. I've never heard. So I don't even. I'm gonna wait a little while before I can comment more on it, because this just happened, and I'm sure the investigation, of course, is still going on. So, but boy,
listen to this. It says, according to the suit, the baby got stuck during delivery, but Dr. St. Julien delayed a surgical procedure and failed to seek help quickly. Instead, she applied ridiculously excessive force on the baby's head and neck to try to deliver it, according to attorney Roderick Edmond, who is also a physician. Ooh.
So you know what? That means somebody probably that was in the birthing room probably was the one, because those details don't sound like it's coming from the doctor herself, but from somebody that was right there.
So somebody is started speaking, and nurses. It says roughly 3 hours passed before Dr. Julien took Ross, 20. She's young. Can you believe that? A 20-year-old.
Yeah, they are a young couple.
For a C-section. According to the suit, by then a fetal monitor had stopped registering a heartbeat. The C-section removed the baby's leg and body, but the head was delivered vaginally. Huh?
Oh, Christ. So the head was completely severed. Oh, my God.
What? What I just read? We're already dealing with so much when it comes to Black women and mortality rate in this country. This is not good. This is not good at all. And the article said the couple had asked for a C-section earlier when the baby still could have survived, but were denied. He said the case highlighted, it said Ross and Taylor did not speak at the when they have the news conference. The suit alleges gross negligence, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
They're not even going to go to trial. They're going to settle for whatever they want.
As they should.
Because if they go to trial, it's
they're
probably
going to get... Can you imagine how much money they would get if they go to trial? And they probably damage alone.
Yep. And they deserve every penny. Of course, the money cannot obviously replace their first child. That's their first child.
Yeah.
I believe I read a report that the mom, she has a um, history of diabetes, but they said she made all of her appointments. She followed up with her doctors, and so it wasn't like well, and no mom deserved this to happen anyway. So I'm not even going to make that statement I was just about to make. But the point is, like, this young lady follow up with all of her physician appointment, making sure that her body was ready to deliver her first child, and then this is what happened.
I really, they're gonna need therapy. Hopefully they provide therapy for the family.
I hope so.
And I wish them well. They're a young couple. May God bless them with another child as soon as possible. I can't imagine that pain for them. I wouldn't want that in my worst enemy. So.
Yeah. Oh boy. What is the next topic? What else is going on? We had mentioned something before. I can't quite remember what it was.
Well, a lot of things are happening right now on the front of world news as far as what's happening in Africa. Right now, we might possibly be facing a war. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. Niger and a lot of the French-speaking part of Africa, they've had enough. And I think we are approaching the awakening. Like, I post something recently on Instagram where I said the sleepy giant is awakening. And I felt like I've always felt this throughout my life. And say every country, every politician steals. Every country, all the ones, they're not giving everything fully to the citizen. Those that are in power are always privileged, right? So you're even doing slavery after you say these countries are independent. However, they're not independent. They've never been independent, because imagine, I just saw a guy on TikTok. He said, which I've always known, that these countries, especially the west of Africa, their body system always had to have, like, the government body system always had to have somebody from, like, the UN nation or one of those group, right, overseeing what's happened. He said their job there was to make sure that country was destabilized. Nothing. Can you imagine, you full of resources, but your country, for example, in Niger, right, their oil, in their, I forgot what it is that they use to use it to have electricity in France. They said 50% of it, some ridiculous amount of it, comes from that one country, right? But they said less than 15 or 20% of the citizens in that country themselves have electricity. So they're taking all of their resources, which they've always done, right? But they don't have the decency to say their currency has to be, I have to do more research, and then when I can talk about this, when I can give you real stat and not just my opinion. But I've said it over and over again. There's no difference between Africans. There's no difference between the people in the Caribbean, the people in Latin America. Why they don't have the same life standard of living as the countries like Europe, like the England, America, Canada, Germany, the Dutch. The whole problem is that they take so much. They take everything from these countries, but give them very little back, or nothing. And they want to tell you, you're poor. You cannot sustain yourself. But you watch those countries be so poor that the kids cannot go to, there's no medical facility, there's no proper education for the family, for the future, but you are okay with it. That's the problem. And I can honestly say, I think it's about time. It's way overdue for African leaders leaders in the Caribbean, leaders in Latin America to say enough is enough, that our country deserve to have the riches that we were blessed with. It's supposed to be for our citizen. And I don't know what's going to happen, because those countries are now being backed by Russia. It didn't have to get to that point. Why is Nigeria that still has so much poverty? You know, I know it's the richest, it has the highest GDP in Africa, but it should be up to par with the Middle East. Look what they've done in Dubai. Look what they've used their resources. All they need to understand is, if your leader has a vision for your country, look at Rwanda. Rwanda is doing so great right now, because it took one leader. It took one leader to say, wait a minute, my vision is I want to be the Singapore of Africa. You know, and they are surpassing so many other countries. They are the safest country in Africa. You can travel there freely by yourself. It's the cleanest country. The GDP is growing every year. So I'm hoping other neighbor countries are watching what's happening, that if you invest in your people, in your country, you would not need their measly aids. You know what I mean? You can be self-sufficient, and isn't that the goal?
Yeah.
Isn't that the goal for
every? Some more research. We need to research it, and because this topic here is a topic that needs to be on its own, fully researched by us, and we can come and have a great discussion
and have data and have data. So
have data to support
what we're saying. So it's fairly new. I saw a couple clips the last couple of days of what's going on, and I wanted to address that. And I honestly feel like I would say this.
You keep on saying about what's going on. Did you say a coup of some kind? They're rebelling?
There's a coup, and also Russia is actually helping them right now. So they are, for example, they're coming and they said, let me
wait a minute. Russia have time to do that? I thought Russia was in a war with Ukraine. If you're in a war with Ukraine, how you have time to go over Africa?
He's been meeting with a lot of the leaders in Africa lately.
I saw that. I did see a map about a couple of countries, Addie, that's moving away from Europe and going to Russia.
Yes, they are. And South America is meeting, not South America, South Africa, Niger, Mali just recently removed French as their official language. I'm gonna leave it there.
It's a lot of research we're gonna have to do before we come back on this topic.
And I feel like now, as more it's gonna happen, more stories are gonna come out. So we'll probably we'll keep you guys posted on this story.
Yes, for sure.
For sure. And it was interesting to get back to you guys. So how do we wrap this up today?
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this up, guys, because I don't want it to go too long. So guys, we're gonna have to. Before we even go, I just want to say thank you to our subscribers. Can't thank you guys who are watching enough. I just want to say thank you. Addie, you have anything to say to wrap it up?
Thank you very much, you guys. As you can see, we're trying to make it happen. We may not always do an episode every week because I'm 3 hours behind Angie. A lot of stuff is going on in our lives, but we've been trying to make it as often as possible. But our goal is to have an episode every week. So thank you guys for sticking with us. And to all the new subscribers, welcome. Share your thoughts of what you think of our program, what you guys want us to talk about. And we really, really appreciate you guys. So have a good night.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.